Chapter 5, The Arcade and Stupid-Ass Kids Today. Michael had then come across an arcade, and after a while of eyeing the scene and the whole 21 and below lot, he began to feel old, and a little depressed again. Great, now I feel even mopier, but why? I ain't that much older than them now, thought Michael, even though really over twice most of their ages. Fine, there's that, but I don't feel like it at least, so who are you to judge? The place was always jam-packed with high schoolers on a school night, looking like they were making no plans to head home to do their homework. And even from a good distance, the place stank like a gym locker room stuffed with chalk straps and pizza. For some reason, my Uncle Francis's words are ringing in looking at all this. The man once asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up. Funny, I was only 8 years old at the time, and I told him I wanted to be Popeye the Sailor Man. Popeye. But then my Uncle Francis told me, kid, growing up, there's no such thing. The day you become an adult is the day you realize you're still no different from when you were as a kid. You haven't changed, everyone else around you also hasn't. But now you're expected to take on responsibilities and pretend that you have. And instead of feeling what you'll think you'll feel, all you will feel then is alone and abandoned in the world as you begin missing your parents and their guidance. Yeah, I remember those words of his that vividly in full detail, that specifically even at that age. My Uncle Francis then got really sad and started drinking a lot, and back then I could never for the life of me understand why. At the arcade, there was a purple spastic neon sign up front that said Stuttering Spudnik's Arcade. And taking in this sight, Michael stopped thinking about that whole bit and began to remember Stuttering Spudnik, the Russian, who was ironically called that since really being a well-spoken womanizing jerk who used to be part of the Ravishers. Well, as well-spoken as a Russian can get with their ogre-sounding accents and their manners of a belligerent wino. I don't know how he is now, but back then, the guy was a fucking dog. Used to treat women like complete shit. Used to do that whole whistling and snapping one's fingers and demanding one to come hither like that woman was a mutt or something. And the worst part is most women really seem to like things being that way. And that just pisses me off. I mean, I like to fool around with women, but that's because I actually like them. This lazy jerkweed was a straight-up misogynist. Fucking asshole once tried hitting on my sister by wiggling his tongue at her while holding up a V-shaped sign after she blew him off, and I caught the fucker in the act. The asshole had no clue she was my sister, all smiling at me then, like he was thinking I was going to start digging him trying to take my blood out to be a degenerate whore. Oh yeah, I beat the living daylights out of him then. And honestly, it had to be one of the most satisfying whoopings I've ever given. He owns a video arcade now? Well, that's something I wouldn't have expected. A week or two ago, Michael had decided to head in and see what kids today were up to. And the first obstacle he had to deal with was the noise. The noise coming from inside sounded like the Death Star from Star Wars going through major repairs. Something about all those electric farts, all buzzing and humming and beeping all together had made Michael feel like he was going to lose it. I don't like the mishmash of sounds all together like that. I at least need to hear rhythm or tempo behind it or it'll drive me nuts. One of the games he had come across was some Duke and beat 'em up called Double Dragon. For some strange reason, the game had appealed to him. Of course, when he tried to play the game, since he had never even touched a video game in his entire life until that moment, he had gotten his ass handed to him within the first 3 minutes. After the third quarter, Michael threw his arms up as he gave up, but then, when he looked back at the game, he had then had a revelation. The fuck? This game is practically my entire life story. It's practically me back in the 70s before prison and now again. Beat up some goofy looking dudes, move to the right, beat up some more, and then move on to a boss fight. It's just me versus an army of douchebags I can only relate to by beating the fuck out of. I mean, those are the only buttons available. Punch, kick, and jump. Can't talk to them. I can't ask them how their day's been going. Just beat the fuck out of them, move to the right. Beat the fuck out of them, move to the right some more. And for what? For some bitchin' hot mama at the end dressed in some flaming red miniskirt that needs saving? Oh, fuck this game. Why does it have to be just one guy versus the world? Every other character is programmed to take you on because that's just what's in the ones and zeros. There's no love, no compassion in the world. There's nothing but full-on aggression. Everyone versus you, you versus all. And you're forced down this lonely path to save the damsel in distress. And in the end, the game gets really weird. After I got my ass handed to me, I watched the kid play from start to finish with a friend. And at the end, Billy and Jimmy there went from streets dealing with punks to dealing with crazy-ass occult figures. Some evil-looking dudes in some evil-looking temple. And at the end, they had to fight each other to claim the prize. Fuck this game. I mean, I had to play it by myself since no one wants to play with some 30-something-year-old in an arcade. But what was I going to be facing in the end? Myself again? And that Jimmy character just looks like an evil version of Billy. Fight all that way and for what? And this was what was really getting to him then. Why can't it be the other way around? Why does the damsel need saving? Even though I'm not saying she doesn't, since the world is also out to get her and stick it to her. I'd also do everything in my power as a man to help her. But it seems like the hero there needs some saving too. I mean, what I'm trying to say is, why can't she save him for once? And now hear me out. I know that's the man's job, but poor Billy here is the one that's all alone, abandoned in the world, being forced to take arms against the sea of trouble. So even though that's the part he's made to play, there's still a part she's going to need to play that's going to be just as important. Michael didn't know what to make of these thoughts, but pondered on and felt very keenly about it. But what's the plot here? What are the motives? Why can't Billy find any other means of communicating? Punch, kick, and jump, and that's it? Why is the entire world against him? Why would anyone be driven mad enough to go all this way for just one? Michael had then paused and thought of her. I mean, everyone is against him, everyone, and there are no deviations because that's just what's in the ones and zeros. One straight shot from start to finish, and at the end you have to fight an evil version of yourself? Shit, this game is starting to scare me on a weird level. Michael had then begun to eye the arcade game, all spooked out like, as that arcade game began to, strangely enough, lie him back. What the fuck? Michael had then gotten scared again, seeing all this. But after a while, he came back to his senses, as he shook it off, smirked, and then thought, stupid Twilight Zone shit. What the fuck was all that about? It's just a stupid game, and there's no reality to it. I mean, how would all that play out in the real world? He had then thought of his rosary for some strange reason, and strangely enough some more. He then felt better again. Oh, fuck this, let's see what else is here. Michael had then come across another street fighting game called Street Fighter, literally enough. And Michael, for a second, there had grown a bit skittish to try it out. Oh, fuck this, another game about my life. Double Dragon there was giving me some mad vibes, and I don't want to see how this game is going to affect me. But he had then seen how silly and fantasy-like the game seemed to be, with karate dudes jumping 30, 40 feet up into the air and shooting fire out of their hands. Michael had then grown amused. Okay, I don't see what this has anything to do with being a street fighter, but whatever. When he got up to the arcade game, some 12-year-old had then popped up and decided to challenge him. Wait, where's your parents at, kid? And then thought, wait, do I know you? But as he really tried to think about it, he realized he couldn't figure, at least not for the moment. Fuck it, all kids his age look the same, I guess. Michael had then gone on with his concern of what this kid was doing up and out this late. No, really, where's your parents at? What the? Fine, fuck it, I guess that's the 80s parenting for you. No wonder the world's going to hell as it is with all the juvenile delinquents out on the streets. And look at what we have here, the little fucker smokes too. Now, playing Street Fighter with the kid, Michael found it fun at first. But once the kid started tearing him a new one, that's when Michael began to feel different. Hey, all right, fine, you beat me. Wait, hey! After the fifth match, Michael had thrown up his arms a second time in defeat, but then the pipsqueak had noticed how sore Michael had gotten, and began pointing and laughing at him, and had then given him the finger. Of course, Michael understood he was just some kid, and he shouldn't be letting it get to him. But then again, stupid munchkin, kids have no respect today. No respect whatsoever. He's downright being mean about it. I mean, fuck was blowing smoke in my direction during the match, all sneaky like on purpose to blind me a little to make sure I'd lose. Well, fine, you know what? Whatever. You keep playing your stupid video games. You keep pressing these buttons like George Jetson, think you got skills and you're putting some hard work and effort into it. Because I'll tell you what, If you want to be a real deal street fighter, like for instance me, then you need to get your head out of your ass with these games with karate idiots jumping high into the air to do one uppercut, or doing stupid spinning kicks twirling around like a ballerina. Because real fighting is nothing like that. How the fuck are these street fighters anyhow? Where are the hoods at? What's up with all these karate dudes? I've never seen no fool striding through Queens wearing a bathrobe held together with a string all barefooted like. Pretty sure any idiot that decided to do that, especially some prissy Japanese dude named Ryu, would get laughed at and his ass handed to him before he even crossed the block. I mean, look at all those loose clothes they're wearing. You can't have anything on you that anyone could grab onto and grapple your ass if you want to survive any fight. Michael had then looked down at all the loose clothing he was wearing, but shrugged it off. Fuck it, I'm just that good. But anyways, the second someone grabs you, all the punches and kicking, spinning kicking will do you no good. All these games do come from Japan, so whatever. It's all fantasy, really, I guess. I can accept that. Anyways, kid, you get your head out of stupid shit like this, and then come talk to me and I'll teach you what's what. Michael had then paused, smirked, and realized just how much of a sore loser he was being. Losing a fight to some snot-nosed brat and feeling this way. First fight he ever lost to. Yeah, first one. But then again, how the fuck does a video game count? And set-up boxing matches don't count either. In real life and on the streets, I've never lost one. And on the streets, that's where it matters. None of the stupid point system in boxing or any of the stupid health bars like in these stupid games. It's all about taking a beating and not going limp, not backing out, fighting and fighting and fighting until you find yourself on top. And when it comes to one-on-ones, I've always KO'd the fucker, too. I'm just that good. Then again, I used to get my ass whooped by my dad all the time, but that doesn't count either. That's just an ass whooping. There was that one time I got rushed by 50 dudes, but come the fuck on. I have to be a total idiot not to chicken out from that. I've never lost a fight when it comes to one-on-ones, at least, so there. And that's that.